Okay, Cinderella, a Disney Movie Club exclusive 4K. Wow, that's cool. Very, very cool. I really liked this. It's good to see this as well, I think. I don't mind exclusives from any publisher or movie producer or anything like that. I like it. We joined up. I don't think there was much reason for us to join up before this. There is access to a lot of Blu-rays though that they have on there, and there's stuff really that I have wanted to watch for a long time. Now I get access to it, so definitely good. But for me, I'm a bit of a snob really, so I like to see things in 4K now. If something released on Blu-ray, it's hard to get excited about it for me now. But now it's on 4K, I was like, okay, sign me up. So we signed up and got access to, stuff like this now. So yeah, I did a review on Reddit for it. Let's quickly just go over what I said. Disney has done a stunning job with the transfer. Yeah, for me it's amazing. Film grain remains intact, though it's light. It resolved well, and never in any way did I think it looked digital. Now, with it being light, on an OLED screen you can see film grain more because you have more dynamics. You basically have infinite dynamics on there, and pointing out film grain and little pinpoint things is so much easier on an OLED, whereas on an LCD, that grain is almost going to be imperceptible on there, and it's because those displays smooth things. Nothing is absolute on those displays. If you get something you shine a light, in one area of the screen, the surrounding pixels will bloom as well. This is not good. I'm a snob, yeah, sure, but this is not good for me. So again, OLED, with all of this, even with grain, everything like that, it just pinpoints things out much better. So it is visible. It's absolutely visible, and yes, it resolves well, very excellently, for a Disney disc too, which soon I'm going to have to stop saying, because I do think Disney are doing some excellent stuff when it comes to 4K, and that changed last year around September. It's really in a positive direction now. And again, we're off to a good start. If you nail film grain, right, for the most part, discs will always look great. That is a firm belief of mine. I just don't know when this would not be true. Now you can say anything you like about the actual content itself, wavy grain and image stability issues, sure, but if you can get the grain right, for me everything else takes care of itself. I've said this for a while now, and that's truly what I firmly believe. They've got the grain right, and everything else looked great too. Color grading, it's now perfect. I didn't love the way it looked in SDR. I don't like the look of pretty much anything in SDR, but this is, I should say this, I'm enveloping SDR in a term where I mean it in Blu-ray, streaming SDR, watching something online that's SDR, right? The reason I say that is because most of the time that is 8-bit. It's not 10-bit. I'm not sure of any other services that actually use 10-bit that are SDR. Now on 4K, there's actually a lot of content that is in SDR and is 10-bit. And for me, 10-bit is what creates these colors. It's not so much the HDR. HDR, you have more values of tones, I guess you could say, gradients, sorry. for some reason thinking audio there. But yeah, you have more gradients, right? There's more dynamics that you could actually have in fades, colors, and everything like that. Not such a big deal though, I didn't think, for a movie like this. And generally speaking, anything older, you know, unless you're going extremely bright, which again, older stuff generally isn't horrendously bright. It isn't. So the big thing here, big takeaway for me, is that the fact that the color is in 10-bit, not 8-bit. So I'm enveloping SDR here. But I've seen this on Blu-ray, didn't like it. Just don't like I don't like the colors. I don't like the way they look. They don't look natural to me. It looks trapped in a format, right? That's what I look at. It looks trapped in a format. Where in HDR 10-bit, these colors can now breathe. That's how I see it. Where do you go beyond that? I don't know. Unless there's some new way of doing colors. You know, we're at 10-bit now. You know, sure, in the future we'll be getting to true 12-bit. You know, now I know Dolby Vision is 12-bit, but it's still processing from a 10-bit source. It's the TV that's doing the work, or the display that's doing the work to process that into 12-bit Dolby Vision, with every single Dolby Vision chip that is on a TV that can display that. So yeah, the colors look more filmic now. Skin tones, hair color, clothing, they all have a depth to them on 4K. You just don't get on that. You don't get that on Blu-ray. The thing is, I've been looking at Blu-ray, DVD, Laserdisc, VHS, you know, for years. I know. It's ingrained in my mind and my eyes, really, what SDR looks like. And again, I'm saying SDR 8-bit. I know what it looks like. There's just colors that it cannot produce. And a lot of this stuff just looks so much better. Resolution, detail are surprisingly good. I mean, this is a 50s movie, sorry. It is surprising how good it is. Now, it is film, so, you know, it doesn't have that modern animation look of bright, overly bright colors. It's still filmic, and I honestly like that. There's a few soft shots, you know, there is. But overall, it's all extremely sharp, detailed, and about as good as you could imagine, I think. Film grain spot on, I couldn't floor it. Yeah, so that's it for me. I won't go too much into the audio, to be fair. Unless this was different to the previous Blu-ray track, you know, I thought it was fine. It sounded fine to me. You know, it sounds like a 1950s old Disney movie, you know. So, nothing really to report here for me. You know, there's nothing flashy about it. It sounds good. Dialogue is easy to hear. It's a decent sounded disc. So, yeah, the scores. 5 out of 5 and 4 out of 5. Now, if you've read my reviews for some years now, I don't give 5 out of 5s willy-nilly. Like, for me, giving a disc 5 out of 5s, it has to be extremely special, and this disc is special. So, you know, I'm not any person that, like, hey, every week or every single review that I do is either, you know, getting up to this. That's not the case. You know, most of my reviews are living in the 4 to 4.5s, right? You know, read most of my reviews. That to get up to this level is perfection, basically, and I think that's what this disc is. So, took some screenshots. Let's check it out. I will try and go over these as quickly as possible, but if you've seen my videos before, when I talk about something, I want to, you know, I just want to, you know, have fun with it, talk about it, and tell people what I really think. Yeah, so bang. This is a 1950s movie, right? Colors. This color's impossible in SDR. Her hair and this brightness that's going on, these colors do not work in SDR. But we have 4K now. We have 10-bit color, right? And we have HDR, right? Things just have more pop to them. They just have more dynamics. This is, in that respect, you can say this is more of a blend of 10-bit color and HDR, all helping to make this image as vibrant as possible, but remembering the fact that this is film, right? This is not Toy Story. This is not that look. Puss in Boots, right? Now, if you're a gamer, right, and you don't like film, Puss in Boots 2, the second one, you're gonna love that. That just it just pops off the screen. On 4K, I've never seen anything like it. But there is something special about, for me, old classics like this, and especially when they're restored so well, as well. Yeah, it's really is incredible. So now, one thing that I'll say about film as well is that film, if anything, it's sometimes difficult to see in some shots, and it isn't always apparent. There is a slight glow to film, and I only just realised this when doing a review recently with Wanted. That film, anything printed on film, has a glow. I actually like that. You know, that I don't know why. I just do. But anyway, let's move on. Sorry. Resolution. Resolution is basically pin sharp. Everything around here, pin sharp, pin sharp. You know, just good detail. And again, these colors just don't look like this on SDR. I mean, look at this. That to me looks absolutely gorgeous. 1950. I mean, I just can't believe it. So, grain, right? Grain structure. Again, it's very light, and you can't really see it from a still image. Well, number one, a still image, especially when it's light like this, can't really see it. But there is film grain here. There's light film grain here, and it is resolving perfectly. Here, I mean, it's all over the image, but there are certain points where you can see it better. But yeah, really, really good. Yeah, I just I like that natural look that hand-drawn animation has compared to what we have now. Now, interestingly, few of the modern animations are actually getting close to this this level. I'll use here or here. I'm not sure if you can see here. Let's go here, actually. Sorry. These type of imperfections, like in this wood and things like that. Modern animation didn't have that for a while, but I recently saw it on Puss in Boots. This level of artistic detail that only old drawn films have. Those textures. I don't know. It just looks great, I think. These are good shots to see if there's any banding going on. None to report. Even in HDR10, you know. And I say that saying that, you know, like almost like HDR10 is bad. It isn't. There's actually nowhere on this disc where I felt that, hey, this area would be improved if it had Dolby Vision. That's a good place to be. Now, I don't know if Disney are doing some special things that help the image look stronger because they're only using HDR10. I don't know. But I can just report to you that I don't see any issues with this. Yeah, I mean, if you're fading colors this way, then there's just no issues with bit depth or anything to report whatsoever. One thing as well though is this light sporadic grain. I won't say sporadic. Just this light grain that's going on. It actually helps. It helps control this. It helps dither any light going across the screen like that. Yeah, but again, excellent detail. Like we're right on the edge here of being completely pin sharp. Now there might be some, like I said, film glow. There's a hair of film glow on this. That's fine. It's good. So yeah. Now again, these walls, even though there could possibly be some film grain breakup here, there isn't. You know, because it is generally speaking flat. But there is a design here going on. You know, it's not absolutely flat. Now things like this basically is flat, right? This dog. But there's no artifacts or breakup or anything like that. Bit rates are being amplified with grain. Anytime there's grain in an image, the encoder X265, most of the time any encoder to be honest, forces it to use more bits because it's constantly moving. But none of this breaks down into artifacts or noise. So yeah, excellent. This cat's funny. Yeah, he was good. Again, look at these colors. For me, I know we're in SDR now. You know, this video is SDR, it's not HDR. But there is a certain level of pop to these colors that you cannot achieve on Blu-ray. Let's just say that, on Blu-ray. But even this level of detail in the drawing itself, and how they've colored this and things. Like I said, we've only just got to this level of texture work, you could say, in 2022, 2023 animations, and even they were like ultra high end. So good to see that. Yeah, I mean, that's to me gorgeous. There is again a light hazing of film grain here, but again we're resolving perfectly. Great resolution, and I have never seen her the skin tone along with her lips and hair color be that distinct. Her eye is blue. That distinct. I just, again, these are colors that we cannot do, I feel, in SDR. What do you have? 255 shades in SDR. I mean, that's in full mode. You know, you have most of the time though you have 235 shades in SDR, and quite simply, if you can't hit the color on one, you'd have to try and hit it on the other, and there's just a level of accuracy there that you just cannot get in SDR. It's just impossible. This is why I think the big win here is actually having 10-bit color, because you have so many more gradients of color to choose from. That's just the big deal here, because if you check on the disk, we're in a 1000 nit container, but generally speaking, the disk isn't overly bright. You know, it doesn't have that modern punch, but because the black levels are correct, you know, the black levels are set correct, it makes the image look as though it's more dynamic. And again, this looks even more dynamic on OLED. So nothing really special here. I was just seeing if any of this would break down into artifacts. Nothing. If now on YouTube, some of this stuff, some of this detail, excuse me, I don't know how it will look. One thing with YouTube is you could be seeing an artifact or blocking or something like that, or even banding, that I am not. You know, these are completely uncompressed images. of this movie. Now, for the most part, YouTube should be relatively good on a still image like this. You know, once it gets 5 seconds in and establishes itself that, hey, that's the image quality, most of the time it should be okay. But you never know. But yeah, these colors for me, again, these might be quite difficult to do in SDR, but just looks superb. Good detail. It's just there's a fineness in this detail around these edging, that you have. That's just nice to have in 4K. This is another shot as well where I feel as though it strongly benefits from having HDR and 10-bit color. Just again, skin tone differences. It just, the whiteness here on the hair and clothing, it just has more pop. Now, black levels, there are minor differences between. I was going to say 235. This is 4:3. Where this is absolute zero black, right? Absolute zero black, and this is what I would call film black, right? So we are potentially just above it. We're never crushing on this movie, that's for sure. So looks really good. Excellent color. Just gorgeous color. It really is. Look at that. I think that's excellent. Same. I'm going to be repeating myself a lot now, but on 1080p as well. Let's look at it this way. 1080p. This fineness of detail around her eyes and things like that. It just becomes a lot more difficult. Smudged, just doesn't it doesn't have the same pop and detail and fineness as a 4K. But the detail as well on this bucket, I like that. I like that old style of something drawn like that. That modern movies, modern animation didn't have for a long time, and it's still not the norm to do that. Yeah, just gorgeous shots. I'd never seen the movie look this good. There is brightness here. It's good brightness, just good colors. The colors to me look more natural. That's it. It looks natural. Does not look over the top. No clipping. Whites do not clip. So these guys are fun. These guys reminded me of, I think it was this movie, unless it was another one I watched from Disney. I thought they reminded me of the Star Wars characters. The guys that say Utini. I'm sure he sounded like that. Now this was an interesting one, and I wanted to take this for a specific reason, and that is there anywhere, because when you get darker, it can reveal more noise, which it potentially does here, but it's not breaking up, and that's what I always look for, especially in dark areas like this. Are blacks being crushed? Is there extra noise in the image? And if there is extra noise in the image, can it resolve every single piece of grain that there is? It can. And surprisingly, Disney have put a lot of bitrate into this disc. These colors here, I can't see that on SDR. They just don't look the same color. They pick a different color on SDR. Same with just this color here of the skin. But yeah, they've put a lot of bitrate into this. Surprising. I was looking, it was like most of the time it was in the 90s, if not 92. I think the average bitrate is 92. I inspected the file, and it is. That's surprising for a Disney disc. And soon I may have to stop saying that. So Just wanted to capture this shot. Really nice. Again, just these simple details here that I like. It just looks good. It's a good. It is a good-looking movie, and I'm really in shock that they've got it looking this good. Any potential noise and artifacts break up here, banding, anything like that could happen, did not happen. Excellent brightness on the dress, things like that, and yeah, just looks really good. Yeah, definitely. I can't say enough good things about this, but yeah, this looks really good. Now, yeah, I am surprised that Disney are able to get this looking this good. Now, if this is the case, that they really have upgraded their systems, and somebody at Disney has listened to the level of quality that we want and expect from 4K, somebody is definitely taking this seriously. Because I mean, look at this. I don't know. To me, this just looks gorgeous. Really is excellent. Even this part here, I don't know, it just looks cleaner in HDR. So yeah, there's just a few of the screenshots I wanted to go over. I wanted you to see what it looks like, things like that, and just general thoughts about it. So yeah, something has changed at Disney. When we was in the DVD days, Disney was the company to look for. Animation, generally speaking, animation is always easy to look on an encoded format, DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K. Now, for me, Blu-ray was the format where animation was put by the wayside and film looked better to me. Especially as we got later into the format, when we started 4K scanning, things like that, and I just felt that animation could not keep up, especially if it was either 2K, which it definitely would have been at that point. Things were definitely 2K, and obviously not with DVD, but you know, they've definitely come a long way. 4K now just looks absolutely incredible. It really does. So again, yeah, if they're going to keep this level of quality up, I want to see more exclusives from them. I really do. Let's have a look. Disney Classic Animation. Let's see what else they could actually do. Well, there you go. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Say that's next, you know? Let's go. Pinocchio. Fantasia. Dumbo. Bambi. I watched Bambi the other day, actually, on DVD. The first thing I said was, this needs a 4K. So, yeah. But somebody at Disney has the passion to do a project like this, and they know what is good quality and what is not. When stuff like this gets announced, like Cinderella and you know, any of the old classics from Disney, my first thought is always one of dread and worry. And the reason that is because Disney, for me, and this is just going off their track record, you know, and I'll say this really since the Blu-ray days, their level of quality on physical media has fell, right? This is no secret. I'm sure a lot of people other feel this way. It's definitely fell. But to me, I wrote on my quick review on Twitter and stuff like that, and I said Disney is back, and I get the strong impression that they are. From last year, their transfers, I think they look absolutely gorgeous. So Thor: Love and Thunder, that had color, pop, detail, and there was no breakup of any kind. I could not floor that disc, and I was like smacked over the head by that one. I was like, where did that come from? Where did this all of a sudden this like resurgence from them come from? This level of quality that they're doing, I just don't know. All I can tell you is this: is that whoever was the project lead of this, or whoever is in charge of doing this Disney restoration, really has passion and a vision to see the best that this movie can look. So, yeah, Disney, incredible job, absolutely amazing. But again, I want to see all of the. Now I know there's been stuff released on 4K already, but I want to see the whole works come out again. I want to see everything re-released in this level of quality that we have here. So, even Lion King, stuff like that. Now, so here's what they did, right? Disney 4K. Strange World, good transfer as well. Got this coming out soon. Hoping for good things about that one. Now here's what we get into, right? We're getting into Star Wars A New Hope, and it's a Steelbook release, right? We get the Steelbook, Return of the Jedi, Black Panther Steelbook. That was probably related to this, so don't worry about that. Good transfer. I'll continue this thought in a second. Good transfer. Didn't like the color grade. I'll whatever. But Disney again did a really good job with this. But yeah, we've got like Encanto, Toy Story, Coco, Cars, Frozen, The Lion King, right? They're all getting a Disney 100 Steelbook release. Now, do I know 100% that these are not re-encoded? No, I don't. But my assumption is they're using the existing encode that's already been released, right? And these two, they're using the existing encode that's already been released. Now, I think this is a wasted opportunity. Like these Disney 100s and stuff like that. If it is just the mere fact that you're adding a Steelbook, completely missed. Now, I know it's kind of admitting defeat, where you could say, well, all of your first transfers sucked, right? They did. They was not, for me, at the level of quality that I expect. So, what I want, again, is for Disney to start re-releasing all of their back catalogue again, and anything that's been released already. Now, I'll specifically say this: it's the animated stuff that I want done right. Now, I don't think The Lion King necessarily looked bad or anything like that. It was an okay disc. But this just looks better from an encoding point of view and a presentation point of view. I want this level of quality now. Now, I know we've got the Disney 100 thing and stuff like that. Fine, whatever. But every 5 years, right, we have an anniversary of one of the movies, whichever one it may be, right? Pick that next. Now, when is the next anniversary of this movie? I don't know. Being in a 5 somewhere, however many years is this? This is a lot. I'm bad with math, so. But pick a title. We've done Cinderella now. Perfect. For me, you've got it released on 4K. To me, it represents everything that I would want from the disc, the movie, and everything. It represents perfection, a love and a craft for this movie. And this is what we expect from Disney, in my opinion. This is how I envision them to be, where they release nothing but the best, right? This is what this represents. It's nothing but the best, you know. Now let's go on. Let's move on to another project. Let's do that. Let's get that one perfect. Now I know it's a lot of money, restoration and everything like that, and I don't really care how long this takes. But start working your way through all these back catalog releases like this, because we want to see them. You know, I want to see this. You know, I don't care if you put it on Disney Plus. That's, you know, whatever you do, whatever you want. That's completely fine. You can release it on as many platforms as you like. But when you do the Disney Movie Club exclusive, or you release the 4K, have it done with this level of passion, where, you know, just in case, let's put the bitrate up to 92 megabits per second. So if there is any grain and smudges and things like that, they'll resolve perfectly. They did that with this release. They never used to do that. I've seen some animations from Disney that, you know, we're at 36 megabits per second and we do not care about what we're putting out. So again, there's been a shift in, hey, we're Disney. Let's have some pride in our work, whether it be on streaming. Sure, you know, that's fine. Or whether it be physical, it represents the best of what each of the formats can do. You know, the streamers are streaming at 15 megabits per second. Hey, maybe even lower, you never know, right? But Disney are putting everything into that, and they're probably encoding it in a very optimized way for it to look even as good as it does at low bit rates. But now that level of expertise, to me, looks as though it's been also aided. The streaming, you could say, has aided this level of knowledge, even into 4Ks. I just want to see more of this. Now, the Disney Movie Club exclusive. Some people are going to be pissed with it, right? I'm sure they are, because they don't have access to this, right? You know, it does suck for quite a few people that are just like, look, I'm not gonna be a member of this. I don't want to be a part of this. That is your choice. You know, you can do that. But one thing to be said as well is releasing every single movie through Amazon. Now, I don't know the complete ins and outs of this, right? I don't know their business model or anything like that. All I've heard is that a lot of movies on Amazon get sold at a loss, right? And the whole goal with Amazon is to buy, say, 2 or 3 movies at once, get it shipped in a brown bag, right? And hopefully people will buy more things as well, right? That's their whole business model. The problem is companies don't get paid that way. You know, physical media, there's not a lot of money in physical media when people just aren't getting paid. So if for the first, like Disney Movie Club exclusives, right? If they're exclusive to the Disney Movie Club for, say, 6 months, where the majority of the money that it costs to make the disc, to get published, to do all of this, all of that work, all of this money goes directly back to Disney. It doesn't go anywhere else. You know, it's not 15% of it is not going to Amazon or whatever deal they have. This is going directly to Disney, and for me, this is better. It's going to the companies that want to support physical media, but maybe don't think there's enough money in it, releasing it through Amazon's system. Again, I don't know. I don't know. It's just something I've been thinking about over the years, about how all of this works. Because you see a lot of there's a lot of indie companies as well that do exclusives. A24 is one of them. Maybe Vinegar Syndrome, maybe a few of the others. They do exclusives first, right? So again, they're dealing with the money side of things. They want to get paid for the work that they've done, and as soon as they've got that round of, I'm talking with the budget labels now. You know, once they've got those 5,000 sold, you know, that batch has helped pay for everything. Again, the money is being given directly to the people that want that money, that need to see that money so they can support another project. And I think this is one of the best things to do with the Disney Movie Club. If they can make more money doing this, and it encourages them to release more movies like this, I'm all for it. So yeah, that's my thoughts. You know, they may not always be correct on things like this. You know, but that's just the way I see it. You know, I don't know whether this might be 6 months. You know, a 6-month exclusive, something like that. But yeah, look, I think it's a good idea. Now, if you aren't a member, you can actually order it through us, and we'll ship it directly to you. So you know, if you have any questions about this, or anything like that, so you don't, like, I know there's a lot of people in Europe, because Europe don't get the Disney Movie Club. I think it's US only. So we get people email us every day about the Disney Movie Club, because we was not part of it. We was like, it's not really our. There's a lot of movies on there I was like, I just don't particularly want to see. But again, now we're seeing this level of support and quality. For me, it's mandatory now. You know, if they're going to release now something else in 6 months, because Disney don't release a lot of stuff all of the time. And again, I'm fine with that as long as they get the quality right, which they did here. So now, is this level of quality going to remain? I'm praying that it does. You know, I really am. The next big test is going to be Avatar. You know, I don't know if that's coming out on 4K. You know, I don't. My only assumption is that why not? You know, why would a movie like that not be released on 4K? But what's its problem? Okay, I'll show you the problem. Avatar. 3 hours and 12 minutes, that's the problem, right? That's the biggest problem to overcome. How do we get over this? Well, number one is, I just cannot see a world where you release this on a 66 gig disc. I just don't. If you can release this on a 66 gig disc and it's got extras on it, yeah, and the level of quality is completely acceptable, like I don't see any issues, and I'm reviewing the disc as a 5 out of 5, then Disney, right there and then, you know that Disney are using the best encoders and the best settings that you've ever seen. But I just don't think it's possible. Now, even on a 100 gig disc, it's going to be a struggle. You know, 100 gig is probably going to be 54 megabits per second. But again, this is, I'm going to say, new Disney. I think it should look good if they did it. Again, I don't know that it's coming out. I hope it is. And but yeah, I hope this level of quality can continue. Alright, I know I've been talking a bit too long now about all this, you know, been getting into other stuff like Avatar and that, but again, I'm just, I'm encouraged by this, you know, I really am, because it's just nice to see Disney movies looking this good. I like to see companies really care about their releases, and I don't hold a grudge, right? I have reamed Disney out in the past. I've sent emails to Disney saying, this is not good enough, I want to see this, right? I think I did an open letter to Disney as well, saying, these are the steps that I want you to do to try and increase the quality of physical media on 4K. You know, just that level of quality, you know, having some passion for this. It looks as though they've changed. You know, it hasn't been an overnight change, but I can see this. And again, this is why I'm only now worried about Avatar. Can Avatar have that level of quality? Because Disney are pretty strict about saying, hey, we're only using a 66 gig disc, right? In this situation, it's perfectly easy to do that. This movie is, well, it's not long. 74 minutes. This is again why you can go 92 megabits per second. You can do that easily on this. You can do it on a 66 gig disc. Didn't matter. You could still go. I mean, at that point, you're on the bleeding edge. You're on the bleeding edge. So yeah. Great release. Highly recommend it. Now, if you are going to wait for the well, non-exclusive release, yeah, you can, but just know that this is an excellent release, right? It really is. Disney have really put passion into this, and I'm a proud owner of this movie. You know, it isn't like a few of their others where I'm like, should we sell this? You know, should we sell it on eBay, used? You know, it's just. And I hate to be like that with Disney discs, because I think Disney discs hold a place in everybody's heart when they were a young kid, you know. So yeah, well done, really well done, Disney. So please just continue with this. That's all I want. So all right, yeah, let's stop here. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, please let me know. You know, on either YouTube or somewhere else on the social media, or email us. This is available from us if you also want to contact us about that. So yeah, but yeah, really appreciate all the support lately. Get some really good comments on the videos and things like that. There's a lot of new people watching, and I'm just somebody that's, you know, I love to see good picture quality. I love to see good transfers, and 4K Ultra HD format is really now for me. So, but yeah, appreciate you watching, and have a good day. Thanks. Bye.